Welcome, fellow Keller Williams agents. Welcome to the Inputting Your Deals into Command. This is our compliance training, very much recommended and requested by our Market Center administrator and our transaction coordinator. All right. So today's training is all about, just give me 1 second. I'm gonna mute. There you go. So today's training is all about how you're going to input your deals, what are the time spends that you have to input your deals into command, and what is the checklist that you need to follow, and who are the right people to reach out to in case there is an issue, in case you want to reach out directly to someone, and when you have to notify when you have input a deal. Okay, so it's quite simple actually. It's just very few steps to follow over here. So I'm just going to start by sharing my screen. There you go. And you can see that I'm inside my command. So for most of you who are not in the Teams command, the layout would look very, very much similar, right? So in order to input your deals, you have to go into the opportunities section. Okay, so the opportunity is where you will input all of your deals. So you see you have a listing section, you have a buyer section, you have the leases section, and it will actually show, according to your deals, what is your potential income and what is your probable income, which is your GCI. Okay, so what are the few basic steps that you need to follow? First of all, what you want to make sure is that the person that you're working with, that is your client, are in command. So let's say I just inputted few test names here. So Harry is the person that I want to input the deal for, right? And Harry also has a wife called Samantha. So I also added Samantha. And if I went into the contact section of Samantha, I would add her as a spouse of Harry. So in case you had a deal with multiple family members, let's say there are two brothers, two sisters, husband and a wife, this is how you will correlate them. So you will add the primary contact first. So in this case, it was Harry. Okay, so when I added Harry, I came here, I started creating a new contact, which was Samantha. And over here, I clicked on add a relationship and I chose spouse. I could have also chose father, mother, son, daughter, brother, sister, parent, child, sibling of parent. There are so many options. All the options that you can go through. You even have an other option, okay? And I would search Harry here. And you see Harry came up. And all I would do is click on create. And once I do that, then I can see that Samantha is added and I have added her as a spouse. So if you have multiple family members on the same deal, you have to input the relationships and everybody has to be in command in order for the lead to go through. All right. So once you have the basic step cleared, all you need to do is you go into the opportunities tab from your left-hand side, and this is where you will input your deals. All right. Now, there are a few things that you have to remember. You only have 24 hours if the listing is on the MLS to input the deal on command. Okay, so that's number one compliance thing that you really have to remember. So you only have a 24-hour window if you have uploaded the listing on MLS. So you have to upload the listing on command right away as well. Okay, so what happens over here is you will go here and click on create opportunity. And over here, you will select the market center, which will be Richmond Hill in your case. If you're a part of the team, you will select the team, right? And then you will select the opportunity type. So opportunity type will matter a lot because the required list of documents will change according to the which kind of opportunity that you have selected. So if it is a listing, I will choose listing, buyer, then buyer, if I'm representing the landlord, or if I'm representing the tenant. So I will choose according to that. So why is this very important? Because Once you click on create, you cannot undo. So you'll have to create a new opportunity the next time. So let's, for the purpose of this example, let's choose the listing. Now I will select the client. Now remember, first thing I did, I created the client in my opportunities, in my contacts, right? So I will search Harry, and I can see that Harry is, oh, I have to turn that part off. It's showing Christopher, no problem. So just say I want to select Harry, and then I can search for a co-seller if there are two people over here. So let's say Ankit is the co-seller. Then I will select Ankit. So Harry and Ankit are together buying a property, right? Even if you remove the co-seller, it's fine as long as you have the primary client in, right? So now, how do we input the opportunity name? So this is very, very important. I'm going to show you a structure of how are you going to name your opportunities. This is important so that your MCA, who's your market center administrator, is actually able to find your deals. Okay, so your opportunity name will always start by the property address. So let's say it's 123 Maple Avenue, Toronto, M8V1C5. Okay, so this is very, very important. And then you can choose to write the seller's name. So I will write Harry. Right, but the property address is going to be the one that the MC is going to search for in case he has to search for your properties, right? So if you do not have an estimate closing date, you can leave that as empty for now, right? So let's say you just listed the property. Then you have the estimate listing price. So let's say this property sold for $1 million, is going to sell for $1 million, okay? So now your commission rate is a mandatory field. So whatever is your commission rate, so let's say it's 2%, just as an example. And over here, you have these options called opportunity phase. You will select, if it's the first step, as the cultivate option. And it will make very clear when I go through the tabs with you. Who's the assignee, you will see, okay, which will be you over here. And then you will click on create. So you see, I have 123 Maple Avenue, Toronto, Harry Liu, which is the name of my property, right? I can see everything about it here. Who the owner is, what's my commission, how much my potential commission is. I can always edit it by clicking on the edit button here. You see, I can edit it. By clicking on the edit button, I can edit everything. I can even edit the property. I can even edit the seller's worksheet, which is what is the buyer agent commission, seller agent commission, if I choose to put it here. Okay, that's totally an option for you. Now, what I need to do, if I go over here, back into my opportunities tab, and I go in my listings, so I go on all opportunities, will show me that I have how many opportunities. So 123 Maple Avenue is a part of my opportunity, right? So this is where I will see all the opportunities that I have and all my past opportunities also. So if I go back to all opportunities and I go back to my team opportunities, I click over here and I can see in my cultivate phase, initial contact, I have 123 Maple Avenue, right? And if I click on it, I have a checklist. So this checklist is totally for your purposes, and you can create the checklist as you want. So you see, we have a provide research checklist. So you can create your own by just clicking on add an item, and you can custom create your checklist. So now when I'm done with this, I can move it from watch to nurture. My nurture will have a separate checklist. So once I have checked them both, so let's say that is done, close, I will go to walkthrough. And I have a walkthrough checklist. So once I'm done with that, I need to move this opportunity from my walkthrough to the appointment stage. So all I need to do is drag and put it in the appointments. So the way that you will know that it's active, it turns blue when I hover over it. You see the edges turn blue. There you go. So now if I go to the appointments, I have my opportunity here, right? So each and every stage gives me a different checklist. And remember, these checklists are for you to create the way that you want to run your transactions with your clients, right? Any questions? Yeah. Yeah, Alfred?
So actually, this input due in the command, you mean this is a listing for Cultivate. So this is not a listing that we sign already?
Correct. So once that listing is under contract, right? So if you will move it right over here under contract, is now that you have the documents that you have sold conditional or sold firm, or if the listing is active, that you're under staging. Sorry, that would go under active.
So, but earlier you mentioned that we only have 24 hours to input the listing. So
once you have signed the seller agreement with them, right? Then you have limited. Yeah, go ahead.
Right. So when you say we have 24 hours to input this in command, does it mean, let's say we have a listing, we already put on MLS. After we put on MLS, within 24 hours, we have to update this in command.
Correct.
Is that the... Okay. So if that is a listing we are cultivating, it's already in command. And then, okay, let's say today, I signed a listing agreement. We put it on MLS. So today I put it on MLS. So
yes.
Within 24 hours. So, but the listing is already in command. But
no, I'll show you. I'll
to...
show you what I mean. I'll show you what I mean. I mean by the documents. Okay, not the list, not the opportunity itself. So once I'm in the opportunity, right? So let's say I'm in the active and I'm staging, right? And the listing is not in command yet because I haven't input any documents yet. So if I open my listing, I will go to the document section and I will select the file type, which will be residential single home, let's say. So according to the checklist that you select, it will give you your required documents, which is listed, under contract, and closed. So when I click on listed, I have a different set of documents right here. And when I go to under contract, I have different set of documents right here. Okay. So now what you're going to do is, now let's say that you have your documents listed right here. Okay. And now you have the property on, you have the working with the realtor signed, you have the listing agreement signed, you have the FINTRAC signed, you have all the documents that you have, right? So now what you're going to do, you're going to have to upload these documents into command. So command is the only place where the MCA is going to receive documents from you. So you cannot send the MCA or the transaction coordinator the documents directly through email. You have to submit all of your documents and the paperwork only through command. Make sense?
So what's the difference between listed and under contract?
Sure. So when you listed is when you have initially listed the property on the MLS, right? So for that, you need your listing agreement. You need your, you're working with realtor, your FINTRAC, right? And anything related to listing of the property. And under contract is the second part when you have an agreement of purchase and sale, you have your confirmation of corporation, and you're receiving deposits and deposit for that property. So now that your property is closing.
Oh, okay, I see.
Make sense? So when you list the property, so these are the listing documents that are required. So that now that you have a seller whose property is on the MLS, so you have to put in the listing documents, right? And so how do you do that? So I'm going to repeat this step once again so that there is no confusion. So you first come into the opportunities, you will create the opportunities. You will find your opportunities inside the all opportunities tab. So I would open that opportunities. I will go and click on documents. And according to the property type I have, if I had a condo or if I have a single residential home, I will select that checklist and everything will show up, right? So see, the required documents are required by the market center and conditional documents are depending upon the deal. And if you click over here, we'll show you what does this mean, which is just exactly the name of the document, right? So how easy it is to import any document, all I need to do. So let's say I'm just going to open a paperwork right here, listing documents. And so let's say I want to fill in the Broker Bay listing sheet. So all I need to do is just drag and drop my signed documents right here, right? I can click and even see the document. Okay, I see the document. Oh, good. I can even download the document from here, right? Or I can even print the document from here. Can even split my PDF from here. I'll show you that part also. Now I want a listing agreement. Let me find the listing agreement. There you go. I will drag and drop my listing agreement, right? So now what happens is sometimes the listing agreement is a long agreement and sometimes other schedules are attached to it and you want to split the PDF. All you need to do is click on show pages and you have the option of splitting or attaching documents. So I click on split and I can split the document and select where that document can lead up to. So if I want a page to go to working with realtor, I will just select that page. Let's say it's the 4th page and I will name the document working with realtor. Split and attach. There you go. So if I see, I just refresh. Now that document has already automatically ended up in working with realtor. So now if you have a complete file which is not split, you can actually put it in just one column, select the split option, and just choose the checklist where do you want to send each and every page. So that will become your life very, very easy than trying to go to like an online third-party software and trying to split the PDF over there. Any questions? Any questions, guys?
So okay, go back to the question.
I was asking a question.
Like, yeah. So go back to the question, like within 24 hours.
Sorry, Alfred. Sorry, Alfred. Jennifer is asking a question. Give it 1 second.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah.
So Jennifer asked me, where did I pull up the listing? I'm just using another screen here and I had the listing documents with me. So I just pulled the documents from there. Okay, but in case you don't have another screen, you can just click on browse and it will open a window for you. So wherever you have your documents, you can just select those documents and they will just come right there. Okay. Yeah.
Where do you find this Broker Bay? It said Broker Bay listing sheet.
Yes.
Where would I find that?
Sure. So, and Jennifer asking, where would I find the Broker Bay listing sheet? So initially when you will create an opportunity, so let's say, let's just go to an opportunity. So let's say I have this opportunity. Okay, Jennifer. And if I see over here, this, if you can hover and it becomes like the finger icon, you can download that sheet.
Okay.
So all I do is click on download button. And now that sheet has been downloaded.
Okay.
Okay. So all the other documents, you're actually downloading it from your, which is the Treb system that you will be downloading it from. And if any document that you are missing that is required by the market center and you don't have it, feel free to request it to the MCA or the transaction coordinator. They will provide the template to you.
Thank you.
Okay, no problem. So I'm just going to go back to the same opportunity. And yes, Alfred, what was your question? I'm sorry.
Okay, so the broker bay listing page is actually the show instruction.
Correct.
Okay.
That is correct.
So
Yes.
I just go back to earlier question. You
Yes.
mentioned at the beginning, like within 24 hours to input the listing from that you put on MLS. So,
Correct.
okay, so in the command, we have the listing and under contract. Under contract is the offer that you receive. Okay,
Correct.
fine. So, so for the listing, so anyway, so once we put the listing on MLS, within 24 hours, we make sure we have the those listing agreement, signed document, and input in the command. So that's the requirement, right? Yeah.
That is the requirement. Yes. Same thing.
So do you mean that after 24 hours, we are not able to input or what?
There will be a compliance issue because it is required for you to complete that transaction. There's a window, right? So
Okay.
because so if there's an audit or something like that, there can be an issue. It's like why is your paperwork not in order? So it's basically just for compliance.
Okay.
Right?
So but when we sign the listing, we have 2 days to put on MLS. So within that 2 days.
So you have
so
the
let's say
same
we put on-
time frame. You have the same time frame for putting on the command as well. The same time frame that you have for MLS, you have the same time frame to put it on command. We recommend using
Okay,
24 hours, not 48 hours, so that you're compliant.
Okay, okay, understand. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Same thing when you're under contract. Okay, so when you're under contract, that means somebody has signed the agreement of purchase and sale, right? And somebody has given the deposit, then you only have 24 hours to submit the deal from the date of agreement of purchase on sale. Make sense? Anybody has questions on that?
Okay, so let's say I sign an offer.
Yes.
There's still condition.
Yes.
So we
So you
wait for
will-
a deposit.
Yes, you
So
wait for
before
deposit.
the deposit comes, we don't need to input in command. But once
No,
the
no.
deposit
Once
comes,
the- Correct. So once the deposit comes, because that means that the deal is finalized now, which is the general assessment of a deal finalizing. So once you receive the deposit, that's where you will attach your deposit over here. So you see, because deposit is a required document, right? So any document that is required, you cannot basically submit the document if you're missing that, right? So you need your Schedule B, you need your transaction sheet, you need your deposit, confirmation of corporation, and your APS, which is agreement of purchase and sale, right? And so that way you have to do that, right? So once you have, let's say I have all these documents, right? So I have my FINTRAC, I have my waiver, everything signed. So let's say I'm just going to put it in there. Different tracker. There you go. So sometimes you see there is only one column for FINTRAC, individual identification form. But let's say there are more people in the file, right? So if I want to add an additional file, I can click on these 3 dots here, and I can click on add a document, right? And then I will name the document, let's say it's FINTRAC for Melinda, for example. And I will choose the document as what kind of document is this like. So let's say it's a disclosure document, right? Then again, I can click on browse and select the file in my computer, or I can just simply drag and drop that file here, right? And I can write notes for the MCA if I want, second person's contract. And I will click on save. And you see now that additional document has been added. So if there are documents which are outside the requirement checklist and are also important as the FINTRAC for each and every person in the transaction. So you just click on these three dots and you would just click on add document. So the documents can be agreement, amendment, authorization, a contract, inspection, anything from the lender or any other kind of document. All you need to do is explain to the market center what that document is. Make sense? Any questions?
So sometimes when we have the offer and the deposit come, so now we input in the command for all the document.
Yes. So what will happen? Yeah, no problem. Then you will put the condition also. So you see there should be an option for, here you go. So the conditions in offer form. So you will upload that document too.
Yeah, but sometimes it's so conditional, but we might not change the status on MLS. Is that still okay?
Yes. So what's going to happen is, if the document is okay, if the offer is conditional, but you haven't changed the status on MLS, but you have to change it as sold conditional on MLS, right?
Sometimes we wait a bit. Sometimes it come out. Well, I mean, I'm not sure how it relate to this command or in the. So the command is related to the broker pay also, huh?
Correct. So I will have the MCA answer that question. I'm not 100% sure, but what I'm really sure is, like, once you get the deposit and you get the receipt of the deposit and you have filled the deposit sheet, you have to input that and within the 24-hour time frame, right? And yeah, and once you're done and you've filled in all the documents, all you need to do is click on submit to MC. Okay, so once you click on submit to MC, the deal will go to the MC. Okay, I'm just not clicking it there, but there's one additional step that you have to do. So once, to make sure that the MC knows that you have submitted the document, just send a courtesy email to the MC and the transaction coordinator. I'm just going to put their email IDs in the chat. So it's mca@kwempowered.com and pc@kwempowered.com. Okay, so these are the two email IDs that you can reach out to in case you're having any troubles with any of the documents, and to update them that, hey, I just input the deal for 123 Maple Avenue. This is the closing date, right? And the subject would always be the property address. And it's that simple. Same thing will go for your buying side, and same thing will be going for your leases side, right? So let's say if I create a new opportunity. So let's say, and I want to do buyer. My client is Harry, right? Co-seller is Samantha, and they are buyers. Now I know which property they are going to buy. So let's say they are buying 339 Seneca Avenue. I will just put the commission rate, say it's 2.5, click on create. I have my opportunity. I go to my documents and I will click on the checklist. You see there's a different checklist over here, which is a buyer's checklist instead of the listing checklist. I click on that. Then I have my working with realtor 810 buyer representation agreement in my consultation form. Then I go to my under contract and I have all different checklists for my under contract. So you have your Schedule B, your FINTRAC, your deposit receipt again, receipt of funds FINTRAC, confirmation of corporation, and your APS on the buying side. Same steps you will follow Once you're inputted all of your documents in the required field and the conditionals and optional, remember, if you have additional documents, the 3 dots, click on add document, and you can add the document, the one you want. And all you need to do then is submit to MC, and then you will email on mca@kellerwilliamempower.com and kwempower.com, not Keller Williams, KW, letting them know that the opportunity has been submitted to command.
Oh, sorry, Anya, what is TC?
Sorry?
What is TC?
TC is transaction coordinator. So the transaction coordinator, who is Angela Kim, and your market center administrator, which is Michelle Sarup. Okay, so these are their direct email IDs when it comes to deals. So TC for transaction coordinator, tc@kwempower.com, and mca@kwempower.com. So these are the 2 email IDs. So remember, you're not sending the documents to those emails. You're just letting them know that the documents are uploaded on command. So in order for compliance to take over and for listing to be recognized by the market center, we need all the documents inside command. So no document is to be received outside the command infrastructure. So all the documents, even if you have to now change the document. So let's say there's changes in the listing agreement. All you need to do is click on these 3 dots. You can remove, and then you will just upload the new listing agreement back right here. So if I click on it, I can see, I can double check. Okay, everything is good. And I will just click on close, done. Then I'll submit to MC again. So if I change the document, it will again prompt me to submit it to the market center. Now, let's say that there is something that you want to tell the market center administrator or the transaction coordinator. You can click on add comment, and you can write your comments about the deal right here, and they will be able to view if there are any special instructions or anything that they should know about that particular transaction. Right? And now, just to show you a good example, I'm just going to open on another screen here. Just give me 1 second. Just going to show you a live example of currently an opportunity which is live and how the market center administration approves or rejects the documents. Okay, so I just took this test from Avenue Realty. So for this particular property, you can see that they have uploaded the listing document, the service agreement, everything, even the optional document, and the market center administration just approved all of these documents. And if they had any comments, they put the comments here, right? And you can see all of the documents are approved, and I can see everything is approved. So I can see exactly what is the status of my listing. Now, in case there was an issue with, let's say, the agreement of purchase and sale, and there was a signature missing, the error will come as rejected instead of approved, right? And you will get a notification that, hey, your deal for this particular property has been rejected. You will go back into your command. You will see which was disapproved. You will go and you will update that document. Okay. Take this out for you. Any questions so far? So key things that you have to remember is that you have only 24 hours when the agreement is under contract to put it into the command, so that the market center is updated that this deal is now live, right? And you have to upload all of the documents inside command, and you have to notify your MCA and transaction coordinator that the particular property documents have been uploaded to command. So that is basically your compliance, and the MCA will reject or accept all of your documents just through command itself. And then comes the best part, then the commission is paid out to the agents. And yeah, that's about it. It's very simple. Remember, the tab is called opportunities. You have to make sure that the contact is in the command for whose the opportunity has been written. They have to be in command. And even when you go to their command, you see that under opportunities tab, you can see that which opportunity is going on for them right now. Okay, so there's no real person as Harry. I just wrote it just to give you an example.
Well, how about the exclusive listing?
So for exclusive listing, you only need to upload that on Broker Bay. If there is a I don't think there's a required document for exclusive yet. Let me see. And we do not have a requirement for an exclusive listing, but I do believe that there is a listing agreement specifically for exclusive. So I can ask the market center to let us know if you want them both in the listing agreement, because I do know that there is two separate listing agreement, one for exclusive and one for the MLS. I can ask and let you know, Alfred, and everybody.
Ankit, if I could just add something
Sure.
here. The listing agreement that is from TREB gives you the option at the very top to either sign in that it is an exclusive listing or it is an MLS listing. And the process that would have to follow, whether exclusive or MLS, is identical. So and from an internal handling of it and all the necessary paperwork, they're the same. It is just a choice whether the homeowner wants the property on MLS or not. And they have that choice right on the standard TREB forms.
So Emily, the question is also that now let's say you have two listing agreements, one for the MLS and one for the exclusive. So do we create just one opportunity?
Yes.
Or do we?
Yeah, you only have one property or one buyer, right? From that standpoint. So the choice of how it's handled, whether it's exclusive and it's only with the brokerage, okay, is really what MLS or exclusive tells us. But from the standpoint of servicing the property, it's identical to it. You get paid the same way based on commission, like everything happens in the exact same way. And even though it's not an MLS listing with RICO, we still have to be in compliance with all the things that we do for an MLS listing, with the exception of inputting that listing into the Toronto Real Estate Board system.
Makes sense. Alfred, that answers your question?
Yeah, okay, got it. Thank you, Emily.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Emily. Yeah, guys, that's about it. So the moment you input your paperwork, click on submit to MC, and that's it. And then the magic happens in the back end.
So one last question. So for
Sure.
exclusive listing, is there a way in the command that we put up and then we can promote or what? So that's another topic maybe.
Sure. Yeah, for promotion, yeah, we can definitely have another session, Alfred, no problem. So guys, feel free to ask me questions. I'm just gonna stop share so we can share this recording with other agents. Record.